Alright guys, I'm back today at Locals with Rob's first place winner box that he played at a winner box somewhere in Britain.
The winner box that I played at a winner box?
Yes. Yeah, in Melksham. He came first.
I did?
From what I've been told, yeah. Cool. I will let you get to that profile and explain why this is the best deck after Pendulum.
So, what you're about to see is the byproduct of a 1:30 in the morning last minute rush of the best cards in my deck haven't turned up in the post yet. This is the best I can do. Let's get started in the main deck first. So, if I do it the right way up. 2 of the brick, 2 boyfriend, fairly self-explanatory. 1 Lubellion. I have 3 now, but at the time of the event, only 1 of them had turned up. So I was forced to make do. And you send it off Branded Fusion, so you can make do. It's easy enough. And then you combo for that. 3 Bystial Magnum. This is at the core of your package with 1 Dressworm, 1 Saronir. You don't want to play too many Bystials in the main deck going first, because yeah, they're engine and you want to see them, but if you overdraw them, then you brick. You can clog on these really easily, and this feels like a perfectly fine ratio. There's a weird thing where you don't want to play this and the Albion the Shrouded Dragon, which I was also playing, because they both do the same thing. And what I noticed while I was playing is I only need one or the other. So when the rest of my Lubellions arrived, I cut this because you kind of just don't need it. You'd rather have the DD Croname. So there's the core engine. There's the Despia part of the engine. I'm guessing 3 of these. 3 Awuba, search Branded Fusion, you need this. 3 Tragedy, search Awuba, you need this. 1 Fusion Monster Reborn, and 2 Cartasia. This is something else you can send off Branded Fusion. It's an interrupt by Fusion summoning on your opponent's turn. This is really strong. I did want to play 3, but only 2 of them arrived in time. I'm thinking, you know what, 2's fine. I'm not overdrawing it. I can search it if I need to. Perfectly adequate. I probably wouldn't change that going forward. Time for the spells. We've got 3 Allure Darkness. This is absolutely insane because it says draw 2, and it also triggers this for those who are unaware. So it's like the reason why you played this in Thunder, because you can trigger stuff off it. 3 Branded Fusion. It's Branded Fusion, I don't have to explain that.
Best hand trap.
Yeah, it's better than Shadow Fusion. 3 opening so that you can access your Awuba for the opening. 2 branded in red. Card is still really strong. No reason not to play any more or any less. You don't want to overdraw on it, but it helps you OTK. The amount of times in the battle phase I played around Nibiru by doing like 1 or 2 summons in the main phase, going to battle, punch, drop branded in red, 1 last fusion summon, game. It's easy for OTK lines. More spells, branded regained, and branded lost for 2 more continuous spells. This I've since cut. It was one of the other cards I cut when the Lubellions turned up. But this came up for the you can't respond effect, because I can just chain fusion summon to fusion summon to fusion summon. Your Albion allows you to fusion summon, they can't respond to it because of this, it's just been summoned. Lubellion, it's just been summoned, you can't respond, it goes through. This is a bit more optional as well. In Dragon Link builds of Bystial, I wouldn't play this, but it says branded. So, it says branded, right? And it's an extra draw. It allows you to Monster Reborn your Magnets, so yeah, search stuff for that. And I got 2 traps, 1 branded Banishment, 1 branded Beast. Use this when you activate it off of Lubellion. And this you set off of Albion from the extra deck. And this is a super poly.
Quick question, this card here is very good. It negates Baguska.
You can get around Baguska by fusing it off. It's quite awkward, but because it's not a dark. But yeah, you can do that. The merit of this is it Monster Reborns Albion, but it doesn't say you have to use Albion when you resolve it. So if your opponent has 2 dark monsters, you can make the funny card that I have in my extra deck, which I will show you in a minute. You can't summon Garura because you can only summon level 8 or higher off of it. But against Tyr, which is like basically the only relevant deck, you just banish off their guys, and it's really funny. And there's a bunch of different cards I can make with this. So I played 42 cards. There's 33 of them. I'm thinking, well, what are your last 9 cards? And I'm like, well, let's break the mold. Branded doesn't normally play hand traps. I'm playing hand traps. Why am I playing hand traps? Because you have to play hand traps. Like, you need to be able to stop your opponent from playing. You can't play through all the board. So 3 Nibiru, 3 Ash, 3 Impim. If I had space, I would like to play Veiler as well, but I've already pushed it quite far just to put these in. I'm already at 42, which isn't really ideal, but this is your 1:30 in the morning crackhead. Oh, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? So they were really strong as well. I don't regret putting them in, and I'm not gonna take them out. If you don't see hand traps, then you're probably not going to win going second. Your deck's reasonably good at breaking boards, but it's not good enough to break a tier board. So you need these.
How did you find it though? Honestly, did you find it quite good?
I found it really fun. There's loads that you could just absolutely push through. You weaken their plays enough with hand traps, or even just chalicing things with impermanence, and then you can just go branded fusion, bam, 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 search fusion spells, branded in red, bam, bam, you're dead. It's so fun. You can burst through loads, and the end board is really funny because you have 2 traps before you even need to start using your monsters, which means when your opponent has talents, unless they've got significant extension that forces you to interact with them with monsters, the talents is not going to do much. And by the time it is going to do anything, it's probably going to be too late. It's really funny. Onto the extra deck. 2, 2, and 3 of the usual suspects. You can play one of this, but if it gets interrupted, you want to have access to a second one so you can keep recycling. This is kind of like a comfort choice. The second Rebellion. You need 3 of these because your main combo goes through this, and you're going to be sending it off of Mirror Jade. And even then, sometimes I use this as well. The super shiny Albinatus.
Is it a Starlight?
It is a Starlight rare.
No.
Yes. I bought that on release of Dimension Force, thinking, oh my god, this looks insane, I'm buying it. And I never used it until now, and I don't regret it. Yeah, there's my Fallen of Albaz extra deck package. If you do the really funny line where you branded banishment back the Albion and you don't need it to fusion summon, branded beast tributes any dragon, or any dragon that's level 6 or higher, I believe, as long as you control a bestial monster. So you can just leave this on your board, and then when they start to interact with you, when you want to pop, you pop it, you tribute that to pop with the branded beast, and then this can set again in the end phase. And then when you use the Mirror Jade to banish something else, you can send this, and then you get double search in the end phase.
Crazy, man.
It's the resource game of this deck is insane, and it's one of the reasons I had so much fun with it. You just keep on going. It's brilliant. The Despia slots was 1 Proskinian, 2 Masquerade. They come up when they come up. I made these a few times. This is really funny for banishing random extra deck monsters. You can banish Kit Kalos with this. It's quite funny. You can banish Raw Kalos if they just branded in. I branded in High Spirit Spice on the board. It's like, hey, cool, I'll take that Raw Kalos, thanks. It's really quite funny. These are mostly utility options. 1 Chimera. Because I'm going for branded banishment more often than I'm branded in red, this isn't so important. It's a one-of now. You do use it, you still have to play it. Branded in red into this is still really strong. But you have other options now, which format depending will come in and out. 1 Queritus, I forgot this with the Bystial knot. It's really funny for OTKs. You make your opponent's entire board 0 attack, and then you punch, kill them. It's really funny. One Predator Plant, you can summon this off of Branded Banishment, off of Branded in Red, off of loads stuff. And one Starving Venom Fusion Dragon. You can't summon Garura, so, well, Elements is all dark, so you can make this if they have no fusion monster. And it's really funny because you can target one of your guys and steal its effect, which unfortunately didn't come up. I didn't play against any tier, but it's still really funny, really nice to have access to. And I did it to someone today as well, in fact. That was really funny because they have multiple pendulum monsters on board. And did you know that the magician that adds the trap, the double iris, says apply this effect then. So if you take the monster off the board, it doesn't apply the effect. So they can't blow it up, and they can't set the trap if they can't blow it up. So I Branded Banishmented into this, and it denied them so much.
Do you know what, Rob? You've got a Yu-Gi-Oh IQ of about a big brain. You've got master mind.
I have got a little bit more than a 2-head. Just a little bit more than a 2-head. Side deck. This isn't the same as I played today. Like, you can tell the sleeves are mismatched, or I put the stuff back that I did play. One Pankratops, because it's Pankratops, it's really funny. Necro Banshee is really funny. Droldon Lockbird. This was okay. I played against Draco Slayer, so I put this in. It's really good against them. Didn't see it. I saw Nibiru instead, and I still won. So it's whatever. Feather Duster for like random macro garbage. Triple Droplet. This was really strong. Just negating whole boards. Just having access to it was really funny. I played against Runic Sprite, and they put Ibli on my board, but I had the droplets, so I just dropleted it, send it, negated their guy, and killed them. And it was really funny.
Big IQ.
Big IQ. And it's like, oh, you don't have an out to Ibli. Oh, yeah, you do. Just draw it, Smile. Just draw the out. The Zombie World for the Necro Banshee. Triple Cosmic. Again, this came up for the Runic Sprite player. You need access to Cosmic, you need to be banishing stuff. This doesn't trigger the tier traps, so it's also reasonably fine against tier. And 2 anti-spell. Again, for Draco Slayer, random back row decks. It's randomly okay against Runic. It's not brilliant, but it's better than having 2 bad cards in your deck.
I suppose it forces their quick plays out, doesn't it?
Yeah, if they have the field spell already, then it doesn't really do much, because they probably already have a way to just clear this in response. But if you set this up, they can't access the field spell. But if they haven't got a way even on top of that to clear this, they still have to set all their cards, because they can't just go from hand on your turn. It's jank, it's gimmicky. Would I keep playing it going forward? Maybe not. But I found it funny. There's my logic for that. I found it funny. And you flip this against Pendulum, and well, there was a feature match where that happened. You need to watch that.
Yeah. Well done, Rob, for the content. Yeah, this card's very good. I'm not a huge fan of it, but Rob, I think you shouldn't play it. Yeah, play what you want, mate.
Yeah, no, this is really strong. Changes I would have made. I do want to point out a couple of changes. I cut this, and I cut the Pankratops, because I want to play Durus ones. So I'm going to put 2 more Durus ones in. From the main deck, obviously it turns out you can play really well with only 1 Lubussi, but I'm cutting the Branded Lost, and as I mentioned at the start, you don't need both Saranir and Albion. So when I got the other 2 Lubellions in, I cut those, and there's my 2 slots.
So you want a box with this?
I want a box with this. I want a box with 1:30 in the morning, crackhead. Oh my god, I don't have a deck.
Right. Cheers, Rob, for the profile. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and cheers, guys, and stay tuned for more content. Cheers, guys.